Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending to the class. We'll get started with some meditation. So, one of the things in yoga is mudras. If you haven't heard of mudras, they are symbols or gestures mainly performed with the hand. Okay, and the idea behind that is that the hand is a mirror of the brain and the body. So different parts of the hand stimulate or activate different parts of the brain, and in turn it will influence the body part that is associated with the brain. So one of the mudras that we are going to practice today is called the Rudra meditation or Rudra mudra. Okay, Rudra mudra, R-U-D-R-A, and it denotes stability. And the way we do that is you take your thumb finger, index finger, and your ring finger. Okay, you bring them all together. All right. The other two fingers, the pinky and then the middle finger, you let it just stretch out gently. Okay, on both the hands, so you hold that. And the way to do this is to imagine a wheel, and a wheel has spokes and the rim and then a center hub. So if you imagine yourself sitting on the hub as the wheel rotates, imagine a big wheel, you're still stable, right? However, if you go towards the edges, then it's really hard to be in a stable state. You will be struggling, and that's the whole concept of how the mind works. The more centered you are, the more balanced you are. So we try to imagine ourselves to be seated at the center of the wheel. And now let's practice some meditation. So imagine a wheel in front of you, the outer rim, inner rim, the spokes, and then the center hub. Imagine a square, yellow square on the hub, and as you inhale, imagine that square reaching within yourself, coming onto yourself, expanding, and then as you exhale, contracting. So you're still holding your hands in Rudra mudra. So let's practice this for some time. And slowly coming back to the present moment. Now you should do this for much longer time, but I wanted to give you an introduction of this meditation. let's call it Rudra Mudra meditation, okay, to center yourself and to stabilize yourself. We'll come back and practice more of this later on. But today let's get started with stretching the fingers in and out. Let's keep doing that a few times. Let me take care of this technical issue here. Yeah. So fingers in and out a few times, warming up. Rotate your hands at the wrists. And in the other direction. And then you want to stretch your hands in and out a few times. Inhale out, exhale in. Release. Look over your left shoulder and your right. Come back to neutral. Rotate your head. Do it as slowly as you need to, okay? So you get to know all the muscles that are there that we might have forgotten actually. So once we know that there's a muscle, it instills a sense of responsibility in us to take care of it. Okay, so all this initial stretching is a good way to remind ourselves. Yeah, we got these neck muscles we got to take care of. We got this, leg muscles which we take care of during the postures. But the higher the muscles are, it's easier to forget. So let's come back to neutral. Flex your neck up and down a few times. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Come back to neutral. And let's start with seated mountain. So raise your arms. Point the index fingers up into the ceiling. Give yourself a good stretch without straining yourself. And as you inhale, lengthening the spine, and as you exhale, releasing the spine. Your arms should be gently locked at the elbows. Another great posture to remind yourself and become stable as a mountain. And release. Let's continue warming up. So you have to loosen up the muscles in and around the spine and the back. So before we really do the forward bend, let's do some postures which will help the forward bend. Okay, first of all, you got to loosen up. So I'm going to try the twist. You're going to try turning to your left. So you can take your arms wide and then turn to your left and back, but then take your right hand and place it on the outside of the right knee. Your back should be as vertical as possible. Look over the left shoulder. Now when you breathe, you've got to feel some resistance, but it should be very enjoyable resistance. engaging the length of the spine as we breathe. Come back to neutral. Okay, now we're going to turn and twist to the right. So you want to turn to your right and back, left hand on the outside of the right knee. The purpose here is to get yourself a good, fulcrum, so you can pivot off it. Keeping the back up and straight. Nice, easy breathing. And come back to neutral. Again, all these postures you should hold as long as you enjoy it. We are trying to fit all of this into a time frame here. So you come here, you learn, but then you go back and practice regularly. Right? It's time well spent. Take your hands to the back, hold the right wrist as you gently pull it down, and you want to bend towards the left knee. Come back to neutral and switching hands. Hold the left wrist, pull it down gently. The purpose of pulling it down is to open up the top of your chest. Okay, and now you're going to bend towards the right side. So you're holding your left wrist and bending towards your right. It takes some time for you to settle down. Make sure you're not holding your head up. Okay, let it down, but try to keep your back as lengthened as possible. Come back up to neutral. Bring your hands to the front, walk the fingers away, head down, slowly stretching. Hold and breathe. And come back up to neutral. So you can feel your middle loosening up, but we are still not ready for the forward bend early in the morning. So I will continue with more stretching and come back to it later on. So let's go ahead and get into Vajrasana or the diamond posture. Again, this is a great posture for stability. So let's hold the Rudra Mudra, the thumb, index and the ring fingers together. Rest two, just spread out gently. If you want to make a resolution that you're looking forward to, or a determination, this is the time to do it. Now let's keep the knees slightly apart, and you want to lengthen your spine and release the forehead down, resting it on the mat. Hopefully you're on an empty stomach, which you should be always before a yoga class. Your belly shouldn't be heavy, it should be empty, so you don't feel any discomfort. Take your hands to the back, palms up and shoulders down. This is a posture of nothingness. No thinking, just experiencing. Hold and breathe. Slowly come back up. So we practice the diamond posture, which is a symbol of stability, of determination. And what we practiced just now, the child posture, is something that will evoke humility within you. That's why across the world, people bow down and stretch so that they are humble. They feel humble. So let's do that again, okay? So let's feel that humility fill us. Let go of all your thoughts. Let go of your ego. It's a great posture to forget the ego. Slowly come back up. So when you're lying low like that, it feels like you are not important. I am not important. Tells us a lot of things. Let's continue the practice. So we're still not ready for the forward bend. We are still warming up our back. So let's get into a table position and try the cow-cat posture. Okay, so inhale, raising the head up and the tailbone up, arching the back towards the mat. Exhale, pushing the spine into the ceiling. Try this a few more times. Inhaling into the cow, exhaling into the cat. If you remember the cat, it will stretch its spine, pushing it up to the ceiling. It's a great stretch. and back to neutral. Now some strengthening posture. Go ahead and raise your left leg, get it as parallel to the mat as you can, and your right arm extending to the front. Look down. Got to feel that stretch right from your toe to the fingertips. Hold and breathe. And come back to neutral. Good stretch. Now let's try the same thing on the other side. So right leg parallel to the mat. So if you look at your feet, right, or your foot, sorry, you got to see that hidden partially by your hips. That's how you know it's parallel to the mat. Extend your opposite arm, left arm to the front, look down, hold and breathe. Right, let's release. Let's raise the energy level a bit into downward dog. Okay, so go ahead and push your tailbone up into the ceiling. Try to release your abdomen, okay? This will help you lengthen the spine. Push your shoulders down into the mat. And back down into Vajrasana. Let the energy settle down. And let's get into seated pigeon. So you're going to sit with your left leg folded, right leg to the back, stretching. First loosen up your hip joint, rocking on your knee a bit. So here your thigh should be facing the thigh. So there's some rotation in your leg. If you can do that, that is fine. Let it find its position of comfort. Hands in the front. You got to lean onto it as you prop up the back. That's nice. Take some nice deep breathing. So that breath should reach all the way down, energizing, expanding, strengthening, or what do you say? The muscles should be stretching a bit. Now go ahead and fold forward, resting the trunk on the thigh. You can rest your forehead on the hands, hold and breathe. Try to spread out your shoulders. and come back up. Okay, reversing side. So you're going to sit on your other side, right side. Make sure you're breathing well throughout. Okay, the more slower it is, the better you will enjoy it. Life slows down when you're breathing well. Same thing now. You're sitting on your right side. If it is helpful, you can keep the heel slightly away from your body. Okay, try to keep up the back. Use your hands in front to prop it up. Nice deep breaths. Now let's fold forward, resting the trunk on the thigh, spreading out your shoulders, forehead on the hands or on the mat. Hold and breathe. And come back up to seated position. So let's bring both the feet together into seated bound angle. So you're going to hold your toes, pull them up gently, sit up straight, and enjoy the breathing, the freedom to breathe, washing your soul down with the waterfall that is the prana or the energy that comes with your breath. Now slowly, as you exhale each time, letting go of your trunk and head. Again, keep the heel away if that helps. And come back up. Now we have sufficiently warmed up the back, so we can go for the forward bend. So go ahead and get your legs to the side. And let's make sure the heel is on a soft surface. Inhale, lengthening your arms, raising your arms, and then exhale, slowly reaching down first to the left side. Now let's give it about 5 to 8 breaths to settle down, okay, first. So with each exhalation, letting go of your trunk. Then hold for about 8 breaths. Make sure you release your calf muscles and thighs and kneecaps. And come back to neutral. Let's again take our arms up, and we are going to now reach to the right side, taking our time to settle down. And come back up to neutral. So you notice that you can really bend so much more just after a few breaths. So that's the beauty of the body. It's a remarkable piece of creation. It adapts to the situation. So you give it some time and space, you take care of it, it will adapt itself. The question is, are you willing to adapt to your lifestyle, to take care of your health and body? Let's come back to Sukhasana, easy posture for a quick break. Now from here, coming back to the present moment, let's transition into the squat. So go ahead and sit on your toes first, with your feet about hip width apart, slowly lowering down the heels and bringing your hands into your prayer position. You want to push the knees out from the inside, sitting up as straight as possible, meaning you got to lengthen your back. Hold and breathe. This opens up the lower chakras, so you can rest your awareness on the Swadhisthana chakra, the second chakra, 4 finger widths below the navel. Feel the energy converging into the space. Slowly releasing. Let the fingers down on the mat, walk the fingers away, head down, lengthening your back as much as comfortably possible. And walk the fingers back and gently bring yourself up into a prayer position. Let's practice Rakshasana or the tree. So you're going to stand on your right leg, fold the left into the right, If you find it hard, just let the left leg hang in the front and balance on the right. Your eyes should be on the ground. You should be relaxing as much as possible the leg on which you're standing. And slowly release. Shake the leg on which you're standing. Let's try Rakshasana on the other leg. Stand on your left, fold the right into the left. You can use a chair or a wall for support if you need to. Hands in prayer position in front of your chest or above the crown of your head, whichever works. And slowly releasing, shake the leg. Now for the standing chair, keep your feet about hip width apart. First start with your arms in front, and then you want to sit down, keeping your kneecaps behind the toes, and then raise your arms to lengthen your spine. Hold and breathe. And release. Okay, shake the leg again. So with each of these postures, you can feel that energy being released inside. You feel energetic, but again, it shouldn't push you to be over energetic. So you got to let it settle down. So give it some time. In classic yoga practice, you really space the asanas. You give some breathing time between each of them. So let's get into a stance and point the left foot to the side, right inside. So this is going to be a little bit more challenging. So go ahead and bend that leg, left leg at the knee. Rest your left elbow on the thigh and take your right arm up. So get a good stretch from the toe to the finger tips. Gently look at the ceiling. Release. Come back up to standing. Shake the leg. Back into your stance now for the hero on the other side. So right foot to the side and left inside. Bend the front leg at the knee. Resting the elbow and taking your left arm up this time. Look at the ceiling. And release. Come back to standing. Shake your leg. And now let's practice some Surya Namaskar. If you can, turn towards where the sun is. Start with hands in prayer position. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, standing forward bend. Inhale, left foot to the back, lunge. And downward dog. Exhale, stretch on the mat. Inhale, upward dog. Downward dog. Right foot ahead, lunge. And exhale, standing forward bend. Inhale, back bend. Back to prayer position. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, standing forward bend. Inhale, right foot goes back this time, lunge. Downward dog. And stretch, exhale. Inhale, upward dog. Downward dog. Left foot ahead, lunge. And exhale, standing forward bend. Inhale, back bend. Back to prayer position. And now let's wrap up the class with some meditation and bandhas. So go ahead and you want to sit down in an easy posture. Now if you find it hard to sit down, you can practice whatever you can on a chair. Start with Jalandhara Bandha, throat lock. You're going to inhale, hold the breath, drop the chin, locking the throat. Hold as long as you're comfortable, keeping your attention on the throat chakra. And whenever you're ready to breathe, just let go of the lock. So let's try it a couple of times. This stimulates the thyroid glands, so it's very beneficial for people with lower thyroidal activity. So let's try it one more time. And let's next practice the Udhana Bandha, or the abdominal lock. So you're going to expel the air from your system forcefully and quickly. Then you're going to release your diaphragm, meaning you're going to relax as you hold the vacuum, and then pull the diaphragm up into the spine. Okay, let's give that a try. You can also combine it with throat lock. One more time. Finally, let the energy settle down. Hold the Rudra Mudra, thumb, index and ring finger gently pressing into each other at the tip, extending the middle and the pinky out. Bring your attention to your breathing and rest your attention on the wisdom chakra, the Ajna chakra between the two eyebrows. Remind yourself of stability, of you being resolute to face any challenges. Slowly coming back to the present moment. It's being resolute to face a challenge or being resolute to achieve any goal that you have set out for yourself. Okay, one of which could be to maintain your health, and you can do that by keeping up your yoga practice. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you taking the time. Time well spent. See you on another class. Namaste.